Now, the multi-party coalition in Johannesburg says it wants to focus on stabilizing local government. The coalition collapsed last week when Colleen Makhubela was voted in as Speaker, and later Dr. Mpopalatse was unseated as Mayor. Makhubela is being accused of serving her personal interest. Meanwhile, the coalition has affirmed its commitment to continue to evolve and improve itself. I'm now joined by Corné Mulder from the Freedom Front Plus on behalf of this multi-party coalition. Mr. Mulder, good afternoon. Welcome to today on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time. Ooh, it's been a bit rough the last few days from a coalition perspective. Has it not been?
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. It's been a bit rough. Sometimes these things happen in coalitions. Coalitions are something new for South Africa. But I would think that all the relevant parties should just take a deep breath and calm down and just have a little bit of a better perspective of what's happening. And we will get through this. It's not something new, and we will survive, I've got no doubt.
And how will you survive? What are your thoughts currently as you are taking stock?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm looking at the bigger project in South Africa, and my focus in the final analysis would be on 2024 when we get to the national and provincial elections. I think that is the more important things when we get to that point. However, for the moment, we have to deal with the reality of the local government election results of last year and the coalitions that we have formed and the challenges that we need to deal with. And I've listened to what Mr. Baloyi has just now said. I don't think there should be any doubt that Ekurhuleni has been under threat since day one. And the reason why Ekurhuleni is under threat is because it's a simple, straightforward minority government right from the beginning. The coalition partners that are governing Ekurhuleni since November of last year only have 43% of the vote. So at any time, at any moment since then, the moment when the ANC and the EFF agrees, they can remove that government. So that is to be expected. However, that government has been quite stable throughout. Johannesburg and Tshwane is a different situation where we could form clear majorities. And that is why what happened in the city of Johannesburg was so absolutely unnecessary.
So now, to survive with 2024 ahead, would you consider what has just happened as a kind of a dress rehearsal?
I think so. I think we are all learning about coalitions, and we've all learned some more lessons at the moment, and we will even learn some more. The fact of the matter is that this is a kind of a dress rehearsal, but it's not an academic exercise. This is about the lives of the citizens of the metros in specifically Gauteng. And unfortunately, because of what has happened now, the citizens of the city of Johannesburg now are under an ANC-EFF government. And I think that's a very bad situation to be in.
Residents, I mean, they always wondering if the politics of the power play will impact service delivery. I mean, we were wondering, post what has happened last week in Johannesburg, the impact on service delivery, because for the last few weeks, the councillors have been consumed with internal power plays.
Well, the fact of the matter is that since the formation of these governments, they were under threat in terms of being destabilized all the way. And the first thing that suffers is service delivery, which is absolutely unacceptable and very unfortunate. It should all be about service delivery, and if you are undermined and you have instability, then that causes a problem. The problem is, I think, is going to get worse. There's no reason why there should be any situation where anybody can expect better service delivery now that the ANC and the EFF is in charge. We've seen them in the past. We've seen their governments in the past. Service delivery is most unlikely to improve under these circumstances, and that's why it's very unfortunate.
So finally, you did sort of answer this question a little bit earlier, but what would be the next logical step now for multi-party coalition, for the multi-party coalition of which the Freedom Front Plus has been a part?
Let me put it this way. I think, first of all, we need to challenge the events of last week in the courts, because those events were, as far as I'm concerned, done in an illegal manner. It's not going to change the outcome finally, because the political landscape changed when the Patriotic Alliance decided to leave the coalition and to give their support to the ANC, and they will have to answer to that when they come to the polls. So that we first need to do because it's important to do so. But secondly, I think we should focus on the city of Tshwane specifically because the city of Tshwane is very important. We have a clear majority there, and we should stabilize that coalition, and then we should proceed from there and show to the electorate the difference between a stable coalition being governed on the one hand and on the other hand a coalition between the ANC, the EFF and the Patriotic Alliance. I honestly believe that any party that associates with the ANC will pay the price at the polls. We all know that.
Aren't you concerned about Tshwane? I mean, I've seen some media reports saying that it's got serious financial problems. Aren't you concerned about Tshwane?
Absolutely concerned, and it's got some serious financial problems. Why? Because we inherited a bankrupt city after the ANC misruled for so many years. That's just the reality. And we are doing anything in our power that we can do legally to change that and to turn that around, and we will succeed. It will take some time. The electorate understands that.
Now, finally, just a general question for you, Mr. Mulder, as a political leader. Are you confident that post-2024, South Africa would thrive under a national coalition government if we got the results like that, both provincially and nationally?
I've got no doubt. It's clear for everybody to see what the ANC has done in the last 28 years. They've run this country to the ground. They've destroyed basically everything they've touched. Nothing they've touched is not in need of a serious turnaround strategy. So what we need to do is we need to form a coalition in 2024 by responsible, reasonable political parties that understand what it is all about and to form a strong coalition. And that's what we can do. That's what we're going to do. And that's what I'm working towards every day.
Thank you very much for your time on today on eNCA this afternoon. That's Dr. Corné Mulder.